mynews.studio.
A single pill targeting just one protein might change the future for leukemia patients everywhere. But what's holding it back from becoming the standard treatment?
Today is June 23, 2025. Let's look at acute myeloid leukemia, AML. It's among the most aggressive blood cancers. For people whose cancer comes back after treatment, the outlook is usually poor. Why is it especially tough to treat, particularly when certain genetic mutations are involved?
The core issue is biological. About 30% of AML patients have mutations in a gene called NPM1. For these patients, relapse is common and standard therapies rarely work. Even with intensive treatment, fewer than 10% achieve complete remission if their cancer returns. Survival is typically counted in months.
Last month, at the ASCO annual meeting, there was news about a new drug, ziftomenib. Can you walk us through what it actually does?
Ziftomenib is what's called a menin inhibitor. It blocks how menin interacts with another protein, KMT2A. That particular interaction is essential for leukemia cells with NPM1 mutations to survive. By blocking it, ziftomenib disrupts the cancer's growth and survival.
And the results we've seen so far, are they genuinely promising or just a slight improvement?
It's more than just incremental progress. In the Phase 2 COMET-001 trial, 23% of patients achieved a complete response or partial blood recovery. Among those tested using sensitive molecular methods, 67% had no detectable disease. And perhaps just as important, only 3% of patients stopped treatment due to side effects. Adds this point as a brief afterthought, signaling its significance.
So for doctors and patients, this isn't just another drug. It's the first targeted therapy for this group of AML patients. But how soon could people actually access it?
The FDA has already granted ziftomenib breakthrough therapy status, so the review process is faster. If ongoing studies keep showing benefit and safety, it could become available to eligible patients within 1 or 2 years, at least in larger markets.
But there are still challenges, right? A 23% complete response rate means most patients don't get full remission. Could resistance to the drug become an issue like we've seen with other targeted therapies?
That's a fair concern. While the results are better than what we had before, many patients will still need additional treatment options. Long-term outcomes and how durable the response is, those are still being investigated. And yes, resistance can develop over time. Plus, this drug only helps patients with NPM1 mutations, so it doesn't apply to every case of AML.
Stepping back for a moment, how does this fit in with other recent advances in leukemia care?
There's optimism, both from patients and oncologists. Ziftomenib is a targeted oral drug, so it tends to have fewer toxic effects than traditional chemotherapy, and it's easier for patients to take. It really fills a treatment gap for people with relapsed or refractory AML and NPM1 mutations, a group that previously had very limited options.
Access is always a concern, especially in lower-income countries. What barriers stand out to you?
There are several. High drug prices, limited access to genetic testing, which is needed to identify eligible patients, and slower regulatory approvals in some regions. Overcoming these challenges will require international cooperation, subsidizing the costs, improving testing infrastructure, and making sure distribution is fair.
Are there ongoing trials testing ziftomenib or similar drugs for other types of leukemia?
Yes, the COMET-001 trial focused on NPM1-mutated AML, but menin inhibitors are also being studied in leukemias with KMT2A rearrangements. Larger trials and early lab studies will tell us whether these drugs might help in other leukemia subtypes or even in different blood cancers.
Why does this development matter so much globally?
Leukemia is a global disease. A more effective and less toxic therapy could save lives and ease the burden on health systems. This targeted approach, precision medicine, might become a model for treating not only leukemia, but many other cancers in the future.
And while ziftomenib is in the spotlight, there's a whole pipeline: antibody drug conjugates, immunotherapies, even cancer vaccines. The trend is toward treatments tailored to the specific features of each patient's cancer.
That's right. The main thing is international collaboration and making sure new discoveries become real treatments. Ziftomenib shows what's possible, but it's just one part of a bigger shift from broad, harsh treatments to precise, personalized care.
So, a single protein interaction, a new class of drugs, and the potential to change how we approach leukemia. The effects could reach far beyond this one disease.
Thanks for joining us as we explored this advance in leukemia treatment. It shows how ongoing research can change even the toughest challenges.
We appreciate you listening. This episode comes from mynews.studio. You can try it now for free.